And we're alive.
Like what I've done here?
Let me take a good look at you.
Am I basking in the? Am I? Are you going to basking in my glow?
It
Basking
looks,
in my glow?
yeah. And you got rid of the
Basking in the
hat.
glow. Oh
So,
no,
yeah.
I wanted to do a big reveal. So as you notice, the sweatshirt here,
Yes.
LL
Yeah.
Bean.
Sponsorship. Right. Yeah. We're working on it.
So LL Bean. All
Quite
my
the
logo
reveal.
gear. Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Your
you
mic
said
sounds
prepare
better
things
too.
for this. But it's facing in the proper direction.
Oh, you know what I
And
did? Go ahead. Sorry. I
no,
didn't mean
I
to
adjusted
interrupt.
the gain. That was the end of. There wasn't anything behind that.
I noticed in the little 3-picture instruction manual that comes with the Blue microphone that you're
Yeah,
supposed to have it pointed this way.
straight up.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
not tilted towards you. I had mine
right.
pointed.
But
Yeah.
it's
Anyway,
absolutely human nature to tilt it towards me. So I've had this thing for over a year now, and I can tell you that that's the silliest. Don't build a
yeah,
microphone that tilts and expect
right.
people not to tilt it directly towards them, because that's what you do with every other microphone in the world. It's interesting how much different you sounded just bringing it closer to you.
Was it
Watch,
better or
so
worse?
take a listen. You'll see what I mean. So if I talk like this, doesn't it sound like a little bit better, maybe?
And you're here at the Rich and
Yeah.
Josh show.
So I'm
I
bringing this. I'm going to bring it right under my chin.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I can't really do that with the. I don't want it to be sit. I don't want this. Right.
Oh, you've got a fuzzy top on yours.
I bought. Yeah.
Okay.
You'd be surprised, but they're actually not very expensive, and they sell them on Amazon.
You're kidding me.
Believe it or
Fuzzy
not.
mic tops? But why did you get one?
I don't know. Someone said there was. I think there's a.
Did you just
the
buy it like
streaming
6 days
101
ago?
said to buy one. They
Yeah,
apparently
honestly, it sounds so much better like that.
it does. Yeah. So I have for the next time I'll have it set up. I just got a boom arm. So I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm gonna install that and I'll be able to pull it here.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this. So this is where I normally have the mic, but
Yeah.
what if I now have the mic here?
I don't think it sounds any different. It
It
sounds good.
doesn't?
No.
That's crazy because even when you turned your head, it sounded different.
Maybe it's the fuzzy top.
It's probably the fuzzy
Does
top.
it sound bad? Do I need to adjust
No,
this?
no, it sounds great. And on the last one, it sounded really good too.
Okay.
That was one of the noticeable differences between your setup and mine, is that yours sounded like really, really good. And mine, well, I had the microphone backwards. It was pointing straight up though. So did you get the Logitech G Hub app for, or software for your computer?
Logitech G Hub. I don't think so. No.
So because we have the same camera and microphone, there's
Yeah.
actually one application for both of them. So this is made by Logitech, or at least they partnered with software to create it for both of them.
Got it.
And yeah, so like it opens up and it says like select camera or mic. So I was messing around with the input gain. So like listen to this. Ready?
Yep.
So I'm talking at 48 input gain, and now I'm at 100. Does that sound different?
No. I think that there is one. I think it defaults on this program that we're
Yeah,
using to stream to automatically adjust the volume
right.
of
That
of the
makes sense.
microphone. So you can't mess it up because they don't want dickheads like us being over here like, does this sound better? Does this sound better? I think this sounds fine. Remember
Oh wow.
the game
Here
that
we
we
go. Hey, do I sound any different now?
yeah, just a little bit.
Just
That's
a little
good.
bit. I am a robot. There's also, so in this app, there's different filters. So what, do you want me to try demon?
Yeah, anything but that. Anything but the one you're on.
Because it's Halloween, I sound like a demon. I can't hear it, so I
You
said,
can't hear it.
I said, you know, I know. There's one called witness protection. I'm gonna try that.
Witness protection.
So I was captured, and next thing I know,
That's
I
good.
was in the back of someone's car. I was counting the bumps on the highway to try to determine where I was.
It's not as good as you'll probably be disappointed when you hear it, but it's still pretty
Okay,
good. It's
that's what you're missing out on.
Yeah. Listen, I'm working on mine. I forgot to put my voice mod thing on. I'm gonna put that on the list to do for next time.
What's a voice mod?
That's just what you're doing. But there's a way where when you're using it, you can hear it. You got to turn yours off. You can't understand what you're saying. Barely.
I did turn it off, did I not?
No.
Hold on. Okay.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
There it is.
back to normal.
Those you can use those for the characters you're developing.
Guy
Guy in trunk of car.
in front of car.
Did you guys get a bunch
I
of
could-
trick or treaters?
We got so we talked to the neighbors and they said not to expect any, and I completely forgot it was Halloween. Someone rang the doorbell. One group, and it was four of like the most adorable kids, and they yelled "Happy Halloween" when I opened the door, and I stood there with nothing for them, and just had to send them on their way and then close the door in their face. I felt pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's not a good
neighbor. You live on you live in a house on a street. You should expect someone, right?
You know, it's a dead end street though. So
Even better during Halloween. That's like
yeah,
that's the place to be. No
yeah,
traffic.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
Your neighbor you got a little new. You got a little hazing.
a little hazing.
Welcome to the neighborhood, hazing.
When I come out tomorrow, he's gonna say, "Hey, how'd you like those trick or treaters, huh, jackass?"
Oh, you think you like disappointing little kids? Is that what you want to do? Is that how you get
Yeah.
your kicks?
Real nice. And the parents that were with these kids, the look they gave me,
Yeah.
the words they were saying were, "It's okay, don't worry about it." But the dad gave me one of these when he was leaving. Like, "Hey, don't worry about it. It's fine. We understand."
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. But it's harsh.
Now you know. Next year.
Yeah,
We
Did you
ran
get any?
out. Oh yeah, we ran out of candy.
Wow.
We probably had so it's raining here.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a miserable night. It's not cold, but it's just rainy, and we were expecting maybe there would be fewer kids. Man, they
Packing
showed
them in
up.
with jackhammers.
They showed up. It's a big day for 7-year-olds. They're
What,
not
what-
letting a little rain.
So let me guess. What are the costumes that you saw? You saw some Marvel. I'm sure was
Yeah.
well represented.
Some superheroes, definitely
Yeah.
Captain America, Black Panther, Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Now, what was the racial breakdown of the people who dressed as Black Panther?
I don't know. There was
You don't
only
see
one.
color.
He
You don't
wasn't-
see the world
yeah.
that way.
He was African American.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, if a white kid would dress up as Black Panther, is that something
I-
that a white kid would connect to? You know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
What else did we see? Just a bunch of normal stuff. One guy came as. I didn't see really funny costumes. Sarah said she saw Simone Biles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Some older
popular. I think when
kids.
we were kids, there was like a Mary Lou Retton, some Mary Lou Retton costumes, right?
Mary
The
Lou.
gymnast of our day.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking to a guy at work. He has two little boys. One's 7, one's 5. The 7-year-old wanted to go as the American flag,
Okay.
which
Patriotic.
is funny. And the other one really wanted to go as like a traffic cone.
Who are these kids?
And they couldn't figure out a traffic cone, which I don't understand. You just pick one up, you buy a traffic cone, and cut
And you
couple
cut a
holes in
bigger
it.
hole in it. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't
There's
do that,
already
so-
one hole in it. There's already 2 holes in it. You just need to expand the top hole.
So he didn't do traffic cone. So
Okay.
the backup plan was Santa Claus, which is an amazing. That's a great Halloween costume.
It really is. It's a curveball. It's unexpected, right? It's
This-
unexpected, but it's a hit.
That's right, Santa Claus, right? Everyone knows who Santa is. Their dad, my work friend, he went when he was a kid as Ross Perot.
What? That's pretty funny. Ross Perot was awesome. He was like I remember you may have been there, but I remember being in a. Did you come to a someone's birthday party where we went to go see White Fang in the theaters?
Maybe.
Okay. I kind of think you would have been there. But I
I'm
remember
interested to see how
doing,
you tie this to Ross Perot, though. I gotta be
well, when
honest.
we were coming back, we were in one of those station wagons, which is what made me think it might have been yours,
Okay.
where the seats go backwards. And I was all the way in the back, and I was doing a Ross Perot impression, and no one was laughing except for the mom driving the car. Because, like, a lot of kids don't do Ross Perot impressions, you know? Because we were, like, old enough that someone's mom was driving us to a movie theater to see White Fang for a birthday.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah. There
huge
you
Ross
go.
Perot fan. Always have been.
He was a character.
Yeah.
What was your worst? What was your funniest Halloween costume?
Eisenhower, fedora with a like I was one of those guys who sells watches on the street. Opens up his jacket, and there were just a bunch of watches, and I had like a fake cigar and a fedora. You know,
Fake cigar.
yeah, it was a fake cigar, like a plastic. You know, you could never see that today, but there was it was like one of those comically big ones too. You know, like
Bugs
you wanna
Bunny
watch?
style. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
A guy who sold watches in Manhattan. On
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah, big hit at Eisenhower that year. Eisenhower Elementary School.
Yeah. Well, hey, untapped market.
Yeah.
I had to go as the
Why,
Phantom
what
of
was
the
yours?
Opera. The Phantom of the Opera for sure, easily.
Do I
I had a
remember that?
real I had a real costume and it broke, and I had to run home. And my parents were like, "You can eat." I'm moaning.
Yeah.
So this is a big again. It's like the biggest night of the year.
It's a big
for
game, yeah.
a middle schooler, and like you can either you're not going back out as that, so you can either go as the Phantom of the Opera or you can stay home. And I'm like, fine.
What was the original costume?
It was
You were
this elaborate. I had like my dad's suit on, but it had like a head, like I had a brace for a mannequin head, so it was really tall. And with a
Dude, I'm
gnarly mask on
shocked that didn't work.
it didn't, and yeah, right. And I remember being out with my neighbor, and his dad was walking us around, and it broke, and I'm like, can you help me? He's like, I don't even know where to start with this thing. Sorry, and it's.
I love how you thought that the Phantom of the Opera was the interesting part of this story.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the original costume.
Look,
was,
man, no one wants to be the Phantom of the Opera for Halloween ever.
I don't know. That's not too bad. It's got a cool mask. You get to wear a cape. It's not. I mean, it's not cool
It's not cool
at all. It's cool
funny.
looking. It's just not. Yeah. Well, how old were you?
That might have been the last year I went, so it was probably.
I could
It was
feel that like, in my head.
probably.
The buzzing.
Could you really? That was my
Yeah,
phone.
I thought
on.
I was looking around to figure out what it was.
It was my sister calling. It was.
Man.
I was probably like in 6th grade, and by that point I
Yeah.
was tall, and it was the last year I
Yeah.
went, and I was like, you know what, this is.
I kind of
done.
feel like I remember Phantom of the Opera, but I don't know if I'm just picturing you that way and it's not a real memory. But we must have been together for Halloween, right?
Maybe.
6th grade, I would assume so.
Maybe it was earlier than that. I went with my neighbor. I went with Evan Davis. Yeah, and
Yeah.
his dad.
Yeah, I guess you kind of usually trick or treat with your local crew. Man, I would
Yeah,
have loved
right.
to have seen that costume with the mannequin head.
It was good. It was a good one.
Uh.
I wore it. It must have been when I was in Eisenhower because I remember wearing it to school.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
don't
for
think
that-
we
for
did
the
that
parade.
past. For the parade, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a great
Um,
picture with Emily Trice dressed as a gypsy, and I was dressed as a pirate. That was not a great costume. I did like that it had an eye patch, and I remember there were like little holes in the eye patch so you could see through it, but it had a skull and crossbone on it, and I thought I was pretty slick that I could see, but people thought, I don't know, I guess they thought my vision was diminished, or
Maybe you actually needed an eye patch. You
or
got a
maybe
good
that I actually needed an eye patch.
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
clawed out on the open
Yeah.
seas in a battle.
Yeah, I don't think we wore costumes to school past 4th grade.
Probably
I mean, maybe
not.
like some people did, you know,
Maybe.
but I don't think that was a regular thing.
When I got my first job out of college, I worked for Enterprise, and each branch had to come up. It was like a costume competition about all the branches,
Very professional.
And so we had a couple guys, couple girls in the office. We were like, let's be Scooby Doo, and we all picked whatever. And I bought a Scooby Doo onesie. Like it was a full body suit.
Oh,
like,
I remember this.
Yeah, you stepped into it.
You got a lot of miles out of that thing.
I wore it for. That's where I was going with it. I wore it.
Yeah.
That was in 2004.
Yeah.
And I threw it away when I moved in like 2017, and I wore it every year I went out. I didn't go out every year, but every year I went out, I wore it. By the end of it, it had it was gross. It had holes in it.
Right. And those are nights that like you definitely are putting that suit to the test.
It's yeah. And
Like
I got
the years
more and
you
more
wore it.
comfortable wearing less and less clothes underneath. Like I would just throw on some underwear and just put it on by the end.
Well, the original,
Like
you had
half zipped
jeans.
down. Yeah.
You had
The original
jeans
had
and,
like shorts
yeah.
and pockets and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
give me a credit card, give me an ID. I'm good. That's all I need. Go to the bar. Gonna sing karaoke.
Yeah, that was a good call. That's a good play. Like a good. If I could go back,
Yeah.
if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, it might be, you know what, man, just buy a really good Halloween costume that you can rewear in your early 20s. You'll have it forever.
Yeah. It's tough to tell that to an 11-year-old, I guess. Buy
Yeah.
a good one that you'll have through your college
Write
years,
this
yeah.
down on a piece of paper and give it to your mom. Our mom. My mom? How would you say that? Give it to
Our
mom.
right?
I think you
Write
just
it
say
to your
mom.
younger self. Sure.
Yeah. You just say, give this to mom and tell her to give it back to you when you're 21 and never to read it. Don't open it. Could you imagine if your 11-year-old came home and handed you a piece of paper and said, look, I ran into myself from the future. Give me this in 10 years, but you can't ever read it.
No, I won't read it. Yeah, I'll just okay. You got it. I'll put it away. I'll set a Google reminder for myself. Let's do some housekeeping. The free version of this stream ends today, so we have to start paying for this software.
Oh, shit. It's where the
It's
rubber
not-
meets the road.
It's $25 a month. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Should we
So
should
I'm
we
just
price shop, or is this the one?
I think this is the one. I don't necessarily want to
a lot of money.
learn another one. It's not a lot.
Quick, can we just use Zoom for this? Because I'm sure you do too, a Zoom license through work that has every feature enabled.
We can try it. Maybe we try that next time.
I don't
Why
know
don't
if
we
we
do
can
that?
stream with Zoom though. How
don't
do
know.
most streamers do it? Like,
I think they use there's other programs that you can use. It depends on what you're doing. If you're playing
Right.
video games,
right?
there's-
Like, let's say we're playing video games.
if you're playing video games, you use a program called OBS, which is fairly simple to do. I've actually used it before.
You know, we should do that. We should. You play Call of Duty?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, same. We should. New Call of Duty just came out.
Mm-hmm.
We should stream. We should play and stream. Good
Why
way to
not?
capture an audience, because we're like two dudes in their 40s that are playing a new video game that have diminished Call of Duty skills, or skills that
Right.
really, because of the advancements of the game, were never allowed to fully develop.
I think it would be funny. The issue is, we have, even if we're playing a game, you can only see one of our screens.
One of our
And so-
screens.
So like you'd be able to watch
Right.
my point of view. It'd be funny if we played and just went after one another.
I don't know.
You can set that up. It's tough.
I
know.
I think it would be funny to see how frustrating and inept we are, right? And like how we can get better. Like, I think that we need
Listen,
something.
I like playing video games. I'll play them
Yeah,
on stream.
I was
That's
thinking
fine.
about your logic around like, let's do something that we like and we think are funny. So when I play Call of Duty, and I put my headset on, so I guess I'm talking more like multiplayer, not Warzone, right? Because this is back in the day when I used to play Call of Duty a lot.
Right.
But I loved like holding court. You know what I mean? Like, I loved it because you're in there like
talking to the people.
yeah, like getting everyone laughing, getting everyone like making fun of the people who are trying to be like,
Okay.
like mean or racist or like just little jerks. And I like to create an atmosphere where we all rallied, supported one another, and then would gang up on the bullies. I don't see why that same skill set wouldn't translate to streaming and playing.
Add it to the list of things to try.
Like
I'm into
two
it.
funny people doing something is the formula.
That's
This is
right.
this is what I was thinking about in the shower, where I do my best thinking. That's the formula for podcasts, right? Two
Yeah.
people plus funny, like two funny people, or just like two people plus funny. Without that other part is not. Tell me one podcast you've ever seen like that.
Two funny people.
Just two funny people with no topic or no.
Oh, well, no, everyone has a top. Yeah, right. You got to have a topic. I was thinking
Yeah.
about our topic could be just that we have no topic. We just jump from, it's insane. Like, I can't, and I was thinking
Seinfeld.
about this, I can't, pretty much, but
Yeah.
even Seinfeld episodes have a
They do.
30-minute story.
Right.
I can't listen to a full podcast because my attention span just won't let me. I don't care. I lose interest. If you just are, if we're jumping,
Yep.
we're making a podcast for people who just can't listen to a full podcast, and we just jump back and forth. Think of the things we've
I
already
like
talked
that.
about today.
And
Right.
the thing is that this is with very little preparation or thought into it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it just happens. Like I don't think we'll have any shortage of subject matter.
Right.
I can't get off of the working backwards from what people like thing, which is like a character defect of mine.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's a tough thing to it's a tough way to base what you
It's impossible.
are going to do.
Well, I think that's true. It is a tough way to base what you're going to do, and it's also impossible to succeed at. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
the market's
there's no-
saturated.
Right. But every time I think through something, I'm like, I keep coming back to two thoughts. Like, well, are people really going to listen to that? And then my second thought is like, okay, well, it really, there are things that I watch people doing that I bet they could never have imagined people would watch them do or talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm amazed at people's interest in another person's conversation or point of view, right? Rarely is that person not a subject matter expert or has like a opinion about it. Actually, between those two things, between a subject matter expert and someone with a strong opinion, I think that 99 times out of 100, I want to listen to the subject matter expert. And so then I was thinking, like, what are the subjects that we're experts on? And I could not even think of one thing that I'm an expert at in my life.
Right.
Tell me one thing you're an expert at.
No, nothing.
Right. I mean, seriously, think about it. Do you genuinely think it's nothing? Your job.
I'm not the voice that people should be listening to for anything.
Well, no, that doesn't.
For
That
advice
doesn't.
or information on any specific topic. I mean, that's what you just said. I agree with that.
It is, but
I,
when you put it like that, it's funny.
that's really what it is.
Is that sad? Is that bad?
No.
I mean, it feels
How
kind
many
of sad.
people
and
are?
bad.
There aren't that many people who are. If you're that good and you know that much, you get paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm not getting paid for this. Like, what do you?
I don't
what do
even
you
think
expect
I'm an expert in the thing I do get paid for.
I certainly don't know as much as, yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. The
Like,
people who know the most.
let's say you wanted to start a podcast talking about your profession. How do you feel that would be received?
horribly. First of all, I don't want to do that.
Well, neither do I, and I kind of, I don't know. In your
That thought
feeds,
never crossed my mind.
what the thought of let me make a professional instructional or whatever.
Let me tell people
Podcast.
about how to succeed in banking.
Right. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. I would come to you for advice on that topic, though. That's kind of my
There's-
tiebreaker in my head.
There's a difference between asking people you know for advice and tuning into a podcast with someone you don't
Yeah.
know and having him lecture you.
Do you
about
get stuff like that in
certain
your
topic.
social media feeds? about your
Not
profession?
unless I search it out. Again, I'm not huge on TikTok, and I know that's a big thing on TikTok. You'll just start getting that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, because like eventually you get everything, right?
Right.
They throw a lot at you.
Instagram is not as much like that, and I'm
Hold on.
trying to.
Do you do Instagram stories? Do you watch Instagram
Oh,
stories?
do I watch them? Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that the same thing as TikTok?
Is it? I don't know.
Do you swipe
Maybe.
and then there's a new video about any
Yeah,
topic?
Yeah, but it's the same account. Like the same account can post a bunch. I follow a lot of meme pages. I think they're funny.
Yeah.
And they'll post. They'll have stories up there for 24 hours is what they're up there for, and you can kind of
Right.
click back and forth. But it does all of that one account, and then it jumps to another account, and then it jumps to
Got
another
it.
account.
Okay,
I
so at
think
least you
TikTok's
know
more
what
just
you're
like
getting.
It'll change
TikTok's
accounts.
random. I mean,
Yeah.
there's two aspects of TikTok. There's your followers or the accounts you're following, and then there's the For You page. And the For You page is Russian roulette. It's just whatever, obviously. The thing about TikTok that's amazing is that it gets you quicker than anything I've ever seen. Like I still look at Twitter sometimes and I'm like, why do they think I'm interested in this? TikTok, like you can, yeah, they get it. Anyway, point is, what I was saying, I get a lot of, and I think this might just be a sales thing. I mean, as a professional technology software salesperson, but there's a lot of people that are like, try this next trick on your next cold call, or
Really?
are you having struggling in sales? Try these 3 tips. Look them in the eye and give them a firm handshake, like really, really bad stuff. But there's a lot of them. Kind of like a Gary Vee-ish. You know who Gary Vee is?
I know the name. But I've never tried to figure out who he is. Tell me who he is, please.
He's a self-made, self-styled entrepreneur who is passionate about helping others pursue their goals, especially when it comes to business and capitalism. And, you're young, bro. You've got time. Like he's got this little squeaky voice. I think he's a child of immigrants, or he himself is an immigrant from, I want to say, Eastern Europe. I can't do him justice. I don't like him, but I kind of like that he's a thing. Like I like not liking him. I'm enjoying the process of being annoyed by Gary Vee. You know what I mean? You ever get that?
No. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I think you will be absolutely repulsed by him.
Yeah, but I'm the same way. I like watching those kinds of things and just being like, why are people listening to this guy? Speaking of the meme pages, there's one that I follow on Instagram. Not financial advice, I think, is the handle. And it's like, why are you eating right now? You should be out there building your empire, kind of thing. Like they kind of make fun of that whole thing.
They're making fun of like the David Goggins, who only records videos while he's like running.
Yeah, right.
Because he doesn't waste a second of time.
Speaking of him, I like him. I bought his book, and
I like him too.
I read his book. After a while, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I know you were faced with insurmountable odds, and his early life was insane, and that was worth reading and learning about, because then it kind of fueled the rest of it. But like once he got into the SEALs and he made it this far and he did this and he was able to overcome broken legs and running, and then he's like, no, I had a heart attack and then I came back and ran 170 miles in 2 days or something, like whatever.
Wow.
After a while, it's like, okay, I get it. But he's a motivational, he's an inspirational guy. I mean,
he
really
is
good at motivational speaking.
So it sounds like he was at a point in his life where he faced a moment of like, either I'm going to be crushed by those insurmountable odds, or I'm going to like really lean into it. Right?
Yeah.
Because something like that would break most people.
So he always wanted to be in the Navy SEALs. I may be misremembering this.
Okay.
He wanted to be in the SEALs, and he was working as a pest, an exterminator, and he would do the night shift like after fast food places closed. And he said he busted a pipe or something, and like it just got cockroaches or rats just rained down on him. He's like, that's it. And he went home and he like got on a bike. His story was then like, I got on my bike and I had 3 months or whatever, and I was 300 something pounds, and I got on a bike for 3 months basically and lost 100 pounds to just get ready to be in the SEALs. And then after that it was kind of on.
Wow.
It's a good book. I think
Raining Rats. That's amazing.
Raining Rats.
When it rains down rats on you, when you feel like you're experiencing a plague, Time to make
s-
some changes.
A solid storm of rats will affect change in your life.
Affect.
Affect. There you go.
Affect.
By the way, I think we should do one of these in the morning. I think we should do one of these in the morning before work, just to see.
Okay.
Just to try it, like at coffee, and see how it goes. I
Yeah,
think that's.
I'm,
I think we should try that.
Yeah, I usually start my workday around 9.
Yeah. So if we did it from, even like 6:45 to 7:45 or something like that, I'd be up for. Just why not? Let's just try it.
Yeah, not much of a morning person, but
Me
I'd give it
neither.
a shot.
I think that'll be
Really?
funny. I think
Okay, perfect.
I'm terrible. I hate
Perfect.
waking up
Yeah,
early in the morning.
Yeah, I have tried so many times in my life to become one of those Goggins types that wakes up at 5 a.m. and feels great, and I can't do it. I'm not built that way.
I agree.
Really?
Yep. Can't get out of bed
Yeah.
unless I am required to. I'm required to, for
Yes.
whatever reason. I don't have any problem waking up.
Survival reasons.
I play golf early, and I wake up at 6:30 on like a
Totally.
Sunday. Like on Sunday,
5
I play
o'clock,
golf.
no problem.
Yeah, no issues. But if
That's
it's on
probably
Monday,
saying something.
it is. It's just it's not that we're not morning people. We're just lazy when it comes
Yeah,
to that.
or it more like motivational based, right? Like the fact that we have no problem doing it for golf. And even when I go to play golf, when I get to the course, like I'm wide awake and happy, right?
Mhm.
But if I had to get up and be functional at that same time for my job, I would do anything I could to avoid that moment.
No good. Yeah.
I'm
Let's
glad,
see if this.
I'm glad
maybe
I'm
this'll-
not broken. I'm glad I'm not a broken person, that you're right
Well,
there with me.
Yeah.
Or at least
We'll get to that.
We're both broken people.
That's more likely the case. I saw some. Oh, but I want to amend one of the jokes we were talking about. We did the non sequiturs with Josh and Rich, where we just went through our phones and found the stuff that we had written down.
Yes.
Gun chef.
Yes.
I want to get to that. But
Gun
so
chef.
I told
That's
told
the whole
story.
idea. There's no more to get to.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what gun chef means to us. There was that bakery, right? And President
So
Obama and
you-
Biden went. It was
The
for
ISIS
veterans.
bakery.
Yeah, and I remembered after we were done the actual joke. So you say, if this money went to ISIS, I would still go to Baked and Wired. If all their money went to ISIS, I would still go to Baked and Wired if all the proceeds went to pay for the criminal defense of Jerry Sandusky.
Ooh,
Isn't that good?
well amended.
Thank you. I knew it was
I'm
worth
thinking
bringing up again.
maybe if there's a Cosby. Yeah, I mean Sandusky is the guy that you just.
There was nobody on the
approval
Jerry
rating
Sandusky
is
side.
0 on Jerry Sandusky, right?
There's not a single person who is
Even
who-
Kanye wouldn't have been like, hey, but look at it from Jerry's point of view. Those kids were there.
We were. I went back to State College for a holiday, and my father-in-law was driving us around. He wanted to give us a tour, and so we went through. I think it was Bellefonte is where the actual trial was held, and we were driving through Bellefonte, and he's like, "Court." It's like, "Hey, yeah, this Bellefonte courthouse. You know who Jerry Sandusky is?" It's like, "Oh yeah, no, I know who he
Yep.
is." Yeah.
Yep,
that's where
pretty
it went.
familiar with his work.
It happened right over there. Okay.
Okay, bigger monster, Bill Cosby or Jerry Sandusky? You can't say tie, which I know is what you're going
No.
to say.
Oh, it's Bill Cosby, man.
You think?
I think so.
I would make the argument that it's Sandusky because he did it to kids, but maybe
Oh,
Cosby
oh.
did too.
No, I'm saying, how are you looking at that?
Who's the bigger monster?
Oh, who's the bigger monster? Sandusky. Yes.
Okay.
That's
What did you think I was saying?
like. Who would you
Would you rather go to dinner
if
with?
someone cornered you in a room, who could handle that?
Wait,
Jerry
what?
Sandusky. I don't.
You
think
thought
so,
I was
man.
saying if
That's-
someone
that's-
cornered,
I don't know.
if
I was
someone
thinking if
cornered
you-
you in a room and did
I was
what?
not thinking it the right way.
Okay, well,
I did not fully understand your context of
I
asking.
think that the
pick
argument
one,
could be
Bill
made for
Cosby
either.
or Jerry Sandusky.
Oh, right. Like one's got to go and one can stay. Yeah, in that
Yes.
case, you'd pick Cosby.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that.
Yeah.
Gun chef, huh?
Gun Chef is a standalone idea. There's no
What?
more.
You don't remember anything other than Gun Chef.
Nothing. Nothing. I don't see it. I'll see if I have any context clues in there, but I believe that it was just Gun Chef. Yeah, and then the one after that is a tutorial on how to enter a room and how not to enter a room.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
on how to enter a room or not enter a room, huh? But you
Oh,
didn't
man, the
write
next
down.
one is-
You didn't write down any of them, like how to do that.
I don't even remember what. I wasn't sure if I was the person who knew how to enter the room, or if maybe I was the example of how to not enter a room. But I don't have any. You know, there's another one I have in here is some kind of bit about how, you know how everyone's name, like last name, got changed at Ellis Island. A bunch of like every immigrant family. So I found out that my last name was Zinkovich, right? And now it's
Yeah.
Selkovitz. And I just think it's funny that when you see Ellis Island portrayed in movies, it's some like minimum wage goon at the desk who's changing all of these people's names, like completely destroying the family's history
Yeah,
in one stroke of a pen. When they're like, "I am Serzbezhnik," and he's like, "Yeah, Smith." Next, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, there's a joke in there somewhere. There's something hilarious that these guys who like were just dudes had a
Guys
pretty
who were-
important role.
Guys who were dudes.
Guys who were
That-
dudes.
I mean, listen, that's if you're working on Ellis Island in what the early 1900s.
Yeah, things aren't
That's
going great for you.
you're probably the low man on the totem pole working that desk.
But that's what I'm
Right.
saying. So how did they get put in charge of choosing everyone's name?
They were new, and they just were like, pick one. I don't know how do people get put in charge of how much, tomato you're supposed to put on a Subway sandwich when you're ordering one. It's just one of those.
Those are sandwich
there's a-
artists. Completely different story. Do you remember the Subway cut in sandwiches?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah. They cut the wedge out of the top.
That's right. I've asked that to a lot of people recently, and you're the first who remembers it.
It
You have a
was such
very weirdly good memory.
You know what? I went to Subway a lot early in my post-college career because $5
Post-co-
football
oh my
was
God,
actually
dude,
$5.
There was a period where I think I may have had dinner at Subway every night for like 18 months.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating.
Fact
There was
check
one
that.
right down the street from me.
You went every night for 18 straight months.
Maybe not
went-
every night, but like at least
500
3 or 4
straight
times
nights.
a week. No, I don't think I did 500 nights at Subway, but I went quite a bit. I mean, it was it was such an easy meal for a bachelor.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
I remember getting it for lunch a lot, but I definitely got it for dinner as well.
Do you know that
come home
Subway is
from
the most numerous franchise in the world? There's more Subways than any other fast food restaurants. Yeah, more than McDonald's.
To the internet. Let's go.
You-
Let's ask
This one I'm pretty sure on.
to the internet. Let's ask the internet, guys. What's the most?
Like number of franchise locations. You got it.
Franchise fast food locations. List of the largest fast food restaurant chains. It's not. It's McDonald's.
How many
40,000.
locations? 40,000?
Subway's second. It's 37.
Okay,
Let's
well then
pull
that
up.
changed recently. The McDonald's people saw that and they opened up another 3,000 locations just to spite me. And I don't blame them for that.
So let's make Josh a fool in episode 2 of his
Okay, you ready for this one? Let's see.
Mickey D, Subway,
Starbucks. I would not have. Oh, you should have asked me to guess these. I don't think I would have guessed any of them though.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
definitely
Missed
not
opportunity.
Hunt Brothers Pizza.
I've never in my life heard. Dig into this. Let's see what Hunt Brothers is all about.
8,000.
Orange Julius is number 12.
Yeah.
Have you in your life had one Orange Julius?
Didn't they use that was a big fast food food
Mall,
court
like food
place.
court. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one near where I went to college, but have you ever eaten there or purchased anything from Orange Julius?
I feel like no, because they
Okay,
were
so-
gone before I had like the ability to make those decisions for myself.
Gone. There's 7,000 of them.
Where?
You're tripping over them pretty much. L.A. I didn't realize it was
where
a
are
Los
they?
Angeles company. They're
They
based in
must
L.A.,
be out.
but number of employees, that seems really, really low.
Wait a second. They have
7,000
7,000.
locations and 2,300 employees.
I think
No
there's
wonder
an issue there.
no, we've never been there. You wouldn't
Let's
even
see.
be able to get an
Yeah.
order.
How many people work at Hunt Brothers Pizza? Undefined. Taco Bell, 7,000.
How many
Doesn't
employees
say.
does it say?
Doesn't say.
This is a Googleable thing.
Yeah. Tim Hortons, Little Caesars. These pizza places, I would think, would be higher than Bass.
Okay, Little Caesars.
These are all ones I've heard of, though.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
it's not
How much time have you spent in Toronto, Canada?
very little.
Okay, so Little Caesars Pizza, right? I'm gonna have to go full visual aid here. When you think about the Little Caesars Pizza font, what do you think of?
It's like Roman, right? Isn't that the idea?
Okay, well maybe now
Caesar.
I'm a little off. That's kind of my whole premise. So let's hope I'm not wrong. Okay, maybe it's not as close as I thought, but let me show you what I mean. I kind of remember it as like yes, this right here. Okay.
Present it.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to present the shit out of this. Look at this. Oh, wait, I gotta. Okay, can you see this?
So, do you
Wait,
have
hold
the
on.
ability to add to? No, now you changed the window.
Right.
Oh,
Okay, but
this
you
would be
can see
cool.
it?
There we go. Got it now.
Okay. So, Little Caesars, here's their font, here's their slogan. Pizza, pizza, right?
Right. Yep.
Pizza, pizza. There is a restaurant all over Canada called Pizza Pizza that has no affiliation with Little Caesars. And I feel like their font looks exactly like, look at this.
It's a good font, by the way.
It's
I
a
like
great
that one.
font. And the maple leaf, it's incredible. But like, how are they calling themselves Pizza Pizza with the similar font,
Same color
and
scheme.
same color scheme, and absolutely no affiliation? Oh, that's crazy looking.
Yeah, I guess they have no affiliate. That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah. Isn't it?
It is. If you had to
How many-
rank your fast food places,
Oh, good question.
give me top 3.
I think that anyone who says that
put
McDonald's
this
isn't
back
their
up.
first is lying
I
or
agree.
trying to sound interesting. So it's 100% McDonald's. And
They're definitely in the top 3. I mean, let's be honest. Maybe you like Dunkin'
You can have
Donuts, donuts
yeah.
better or their coffee better. But
I'm talking
Mickey
like
D's is
you're
yeah.
you're driving, you're on a road trip. I'm driving to come to DC, and there's all of these restaurants lined up next to each other, and you're hungry. You're going to McDonald's.
Agree.
I would say second would be Wendy's. Wendy's is excellent. And Wendy's is actually probably all around better than McDonald's in every measurable way, but it just isn't McDonald's. I don't know how to describe it. And then Subway?
Hunt Brothers Pizza, probably.
Then Hunt Brothers Pizza. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a third one after that. I'm looking like I used to like Arby's. I would say like Jimmy John's or one of the sub places. One of the
Yeah.
What's the other sub place? Jersey Mike's. I love Jersey Mike's or Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I get
Okay,
Jersey
so
Mike,
now I'm seeing a lot more that I like. what are
Paula
yours?
hamburger. Got it. Yep.
What are yours?
China's got one called Wallace.
Where Wallace? Go, open it up. I want to see what Wallace is all about. Okay,
Yeah, not
That's
a lot.
fancy.
Not a lot going on Wallace.
dude, it's Wallace Food Company doing business as Wallace. I like that.
So Mickey D's, I agree. I think their food just tastes good. It's
Yeah.
not food, barely food. On this list, let's see. Hardee's. I think Hardee's is good. Hardee's.
I've never been to a
changed-
Hardee's in my life.
Really. It's.
I don't even know where you've seen one.
They have one in at college that we used to go to. that was right when they came out. You wouldn't know if you've never been to one. They like did this big rebrand in the early 2000s and started making thick burgers, which like good burgers instead of just the fried patty looking ones from McDonald's, which are great. They taste good, but they were different and they were good. Wendy's is okay.
Have you
I
have
pizza
you been to a
and
Wendy's
pizza
since they
is
redid
kinda-
their fries?
No, I don't. I try not to eat a lot of fast food.
Yeah.
Right. There is a place, and then there's
Don't get off your high horse. This
Here's
is
the
what I was
thing.
talking about. You're same as the people who say McDonald's isn't their favorite. I
just-
try not to eat fat. It's the GMOs and the.
It's just the sodium is.
And you know what? Once you get past the sodium, it's the sugar. They put sugar on their fries.
I'm gonna get a little controversial here
Ooh.
with my third choice.
Oh boy,
Arby's.
I can already. What was it?
Arby's.
Okay, I thought it was going to be way more annoying than that because when you typically go the other direction, it's very annoying. But yeah, I mean Arby's is great. The pickles, how they have the pickles, just free form, serve yourself
Pickles.
dude. They whereas most of these places hit you with a little ketchup and mustard buffet, these
Listen,
wonderful bastards put
I'm not
pickles
going
in a
I'm
tank.
I'm not going into any of these places. I'm not going in to buy my food and sit down and enjoy my.
I mean,
meal.
I'm talking college, but
I'm eating
yeah.
in my car when I
Well,
go
yeah.
to any of these places. Okay. Even if I have
Yeah.
to walk inside to get it, I'm not sitting down in there. I'm going back to my car and
I mean, there
eating
is
there.
no sadder, lonelier place than eating by yourself in a fast food restaurant with the tray and the booth and the things you stare at are all reminders of what kind of choice you're making.
You're just trying to get out of
workers-
there.
The workers seem miserable. The worst kind of families are having their dinner there.
Listen,
Like there's
we
just
went to-
nothing good around you.
I know you did the same thing. We went as families. The family thing I absolutely get when
Yeah.
little kids, it's got to be tough to find them something that they want to eat.
Oh,
And
totally.
McDonald's or Wendy's or those kinds of places are perfect. Like that's a big deal. And then you go inside and you sit down.
Right.
As an
And
adult,
you go to you hit
by
the play
yourself,
place. Right.
You are if you are forced to sit down and eat.
Right.
You are out of there as soon as you are done. Maybe even before you're done. You might still be
Yeah.
chewing by the time you
Yeah.
push that door open to
Yeah.
head back out to the real world.
Like something just screams rental car about that situation, right?
Yeah.
Like I think
Well,
every time
again-
I've eaten in a fast food, it's been in a rental car.
Yeah, because it's usually a place where you have no idea where grocery stores are, and you're not cooking
Right.
for yourself because you're in a hotel.
Right. And I'm sad enough to be making that kind of a life decision.
Speaking of hotel, I
Yeah.
found a story I want to talk about.
Real quick, I have to give Allison a shot at 9, but it'll just take 2 seconds,
Yeah, no problem.
which is in 12 minutes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Got it. I think we'll wrap it up by then.
Okay. That's either way.
So there's a story. The Arizona Coyotes. Arizona Coyotes. They were the Phoenix Coyotes for a while. The hockey team, professional hockey team.
They changed their name to the Arizona Coyotes.
I think they had to because they were in Phoenix, but now they're not. They play. So the story goes that I think they were in Glendale.
Okay. I'm trying to
And-
think of any other state named the California Angels, which aren't the California Angels anymore. Are there any other state named pro sports teams?
Colorado Avalanche. Hockey.
Yeah, and the Rockies.
again,
And the Rockies.
and the Rockies.
That's interesting. That's a good trivia question.
Arizona Cardinals, right?
Yeah, okay. Maybe there's more than I
Anyway.
realized.
The same state. There's something about there's something about Colorado and Arizona. They just
Yeah.
don't want sports teams to be named after cities. So the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. What the
What's going on
hell?
with Phoenix? Is there anything
Phoenix-
Phoenix?
Well, I think because Scottsdale is becoming so big that maybe they don't want the Scottsdale people feeling bad. By the way, that's 1000% where I want to move as soon as humanly possible.
It's nice.
It's
It's
the best.
it is nice for sure.
Sorry, you were saying something. And
Yeah. Okay, so this team played in Glendale,
Okay.
and the city, they played there the last 18 years, and the city said, "We don't want you anymore. You're not allowed to use our arena." And
Okay.
so they moved to the Arizona State hockey arena. It seats like 4,500, 4,600 people, which I think is cool, right? You have an NHL team playing in a small arena. But it's not done yet. I guess they played a couple games there, but the locker room situation is not done. So they are going on this road trip while they complete the locker room. It's starting maybe right now. They're going on the road for a month, for a full month, more than a month. They start on November 5th is their first road game. They don't play another home game until December 9th.
That's two. Oh no, I guess that is, yeah.
It's 14,
wow.
14 road games on a.
How long is the typical road trip in the NHL or NBA?
So they have. So it's funny because a lot of the bigger cities, Chicago does this. I know in DC they do it as well. They have annual events in the wintertime that you have to stage, right? In Chicago, it's the circus. They always call it the circus road trips because the Bulls go out for a week, maybe, and the Blackhawks go out for a week. And in DC, they have a horse show, and so that's not something you can just like tear down in between hockey games, right? So they do the same thing where like there's a week where there's no home games.
Okay, I mean, this makes sense so far.
14. Can you imagine traveling for a month? I think there's a couple. I was looking through the schedule. I'm like, when are they going back home? And they might make 2 stops for a day back in at home and like sleep in your own bed.
Is the tough part. You know what's interesting is when I moved to New York City 5 years ago, I moved from Seattle and Amazon moved me because I was moving for work. So like they come and the guys actually, they pack for you. Mm-hmm. They ship your car if you have one. I did it when I moved to Seattle too, so I've done it twice. It's called their assisted move. It's really, really nice. But when I moved here, I was here for a week. Then I had to go to Vegas for a week, then back to New York. Then I went to Iceland with my sister for a week. And then I was going to be in New York for a 4th week. All of that until my stuff was delivered, right? So I had 1, maybe 2 suitcases to live for a month in like very different climates. New York in January, Iceland, Las Vegas, like I'm all over the place. And what was really like, I packed my pillow, I packed my Xbox, right? Like I had 2
the essentials,
big carry-outs, the essentials. But like pillow and Xbox is pretty much 1 suitcase. So I was essentially living out of 1 suitcase. And by the time that month was over, I considered calling the people that had my stuff and saying, throw it all away.
You just didn't need it.
Didn't need it, didn't miss it, didn't want it, was so much happier. And you have that moment, it sticks with you for a week and a half, and then you kind of go on living your life. And you know, and then when my stuff actually came, the boxes were piled up to the ceiling, and like I was having a lot of, like, I just felt like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and you were able to do laundry. It's not like you weren't.
Yeah. Well, like, I had an outfit for 4 different climates. I had really everything I needed. I mean, maybe not so much once summer came. I probably whatever. But like, man, I just felt like, why the hell do I have so much stuff? And I had like all my tech essentials. You know, like I had and my iPad, my computer, and an air mattress. Dude, you could go pretty far. Anyway, some of my best memories are like, I just got to New York City. I was here for a week. I was on my own. I was in an apartment downtown, like sitting on that air mattress, looking at my iPad, waking up and thinking like, I'm going to go do something really cool today.
Yeah. You know? Get out. Yeah. You're not spending, that's the other thing. You're not spending a lot of time there if it's not super comfortable and
it wasn't.
You don't have a ton of stuff. You're getting
just
out.
an air mattress.
But that's a great place to
and
be
a camping chair, and I bought a TV.
Yeah. Camping chair. When we moved into this place, we got like a 65-inch TV. You saw it, the one right above the fireplace, and we had no furniture. I just had to open up a camping chair and sit there and watch TV.
But boy, have you upgraded in the chair department, my friend.
We did.
That's a big jump from it. You should the name of your biography should be From Camping Chair to Eames Chair. How I settled in to DC. From camping to Eames.
I like it.
My life, my chairs.
Like A to Z, from camping to Eames. All the chairs that I've used throughout my life. It's just
That would be a great book.
That'd be a good painting. Like, you
It
just
would be a
start,
good
like,
coffee
like
table
a
book.
chronological order of
All the
and,
chairs
like
I've had
artist renderings of chairs that I've ever had.
I want like an actual picture. I sat in this chair in third grade. We were playing musical chairs one time. Turn the page. This is a chair that was at my grandparents' house in the basement. It was a folding chair, and I'd come over and I'd unfold it and sit on it. Turn the page.
It's gonna be a long book.
Now your turn.
It's gonna be
You
tough
take over,
to
you take
to-
over from here.
Yeah, the Eames chair. That's it. I think that we just kind of skip to the end.
World's
That
best
one.
chair. Can I flash the Eames chair up here? Or do you think everyone knows what an Eames? I had never heard of an Eames chair until you
I had neither.
blew my mind. And
Yeah,
my
it was-
budget.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
But they are very cool. So when I
Yeah.
present something, you can't. Oh, whoops.
It's got to show up in this. You see it below the screen where it's got my feed, my. Can you see the?
I have none of those things.
Okay, so I got to do it. So if you
Yeah.
present it, it shows up in my list, and then I add it to
Got it.
the stream.
Screen sharing works best on a good computer. Okay, thanks. This Butte, and that's the one too. Palisander and leather,
Black leather, yeah.
black MCL leather, probably, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Real high grain, pebbly. Here's a picture of Rich on his Eames chair.
Over
This is the Hadley. So this is the
Uh,
road I went down, was trying to find a replica. You're going to spend $2,000 on something that's not even the thing that you're trying to. It's. I'm very frustrated that you have one and I don't. I don't like it, and I would like it to stop immediately.
Yeah, well, you know,
I don't like it. Whatever.
I'll anytime you think about wanting one, just let me know, and I'll send you a picture of me sitting in mine.
Yeah, please do. Enjoying
I will.
yourself with a smug look of satisfaction on your face.
All right, why don't we end it here because you
All right,
got
buddy.
obligations, and let's maybe Wednesday. What's your week look like? Do you know?
I'm gonna look right now. So Wednesday, Allison has a retrieval. So and it's her birthday. So maybe we skip that day. And I can either. You want to do Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. What time? Same time?
Do you want to try the morning or you want to
Yeah.
do it
Let's
at night?
try it. Let's try it. I don't
Okay.
have meetings. I have like this is the easiest time of the month. So or quarter. So like you want to do 8? Let's not get crazy for our first time.
Let's
You really want to test us, huh?
8's tough because
Okay.
I'm actually going into the office, so we can do
Oh.
it like 7:30.
7.
That works for me.
7. You want to do 7:15? I'll meet you in the middle.
Perfect.
Okay.
7:15 coffee with Rich and Josh.
Are you a big coffee drinker?
It makes me too jittery. We'll talk about it on Thursday, but yeah, it like affects my it affects my decision making in a negative way. I have to stop.
I you know what? I'll do you the treat of I'll bring coffee and I'll drink a whole one. That'll be interesting. That'll
Love
be
it.
really interesting.
Love it.
I'll be jumping out of my skin.
We'll do it. We'll cover a lot of ground on that one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, brother.
Later.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.